Welcome to CODEC episode number 6. This is the last episode for the fall semester 2016. I'm so excited. For those of you who don't know, we're coming to you live from the College of DuPage, located here in beautiful Glen Ellen, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Here also, just in case you guys didn't know in the studio audience, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary. So let's give a hand for COD being around for 50 years. And just in case you guys didn't know, I am not 50 years old yet. So just want to let you know that, but I'm getting there quickly as well. We are the College of DuPage Entrepreneurship Club. Here we expose students and expose you, our audience members, to entrepreneurs who are actually doing it here in the local Chicago area, Chicagoland area. I want to expose you guys to that so that you can actually think that, hey, I can do this myself as well. And the people that I interview, I actually really think that, wow, if they can do it, I can do it also. So we're here. This is episode number 6. My name is Peter James. Just in case I did not formally introduce myself, I am an assistant professor here in the college, in the business department, business management, marketing, and specifically entrepreneurship that I do teach here. I have to give a shout out to one of our faculty who is sitting in the back, and she's probably going to be mad because I'm announcing her, but her name is Mary Carlson, and she is also probably a genius around marketing also. So Mary, can you just at least wave to everybody in the studio audience? Can we give Mary a hand? Sweet. So without further ado, I am so excited. I am so thrilled to have Mary Hanley here today. Mary is someone that I look up to, especially from the marketing and the social media marketing side. She has launched her own business, very unique, but also, again, it's going to be very inspiring to you, our audience members, and you, for those of you watching as well. So Mary, first of all, thank you so much for coming as well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's good to see you.
I know, it's been a long time.
It has been a while, maybe not a year yet.
No, soon.
Maybe about 6 months or so, maybe so. But it's been a while as well. How has business been going?
Business is good and it's growing. So
Awesome. So let's even back up a little bit, and let me start out by asking you, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do, if you don't mind sharing that with us.
Sure. I started officially 8 years ago as a virtual assistant. And then my business has evolved into growing to whatever direction basically I wanted to. When I started being a virtual assistant, you want to figure out a niche when you start your entrepreneurship, so you could figure out, so you could be in demand. And so I chose at the time 8 years ago social media because it was becoming quite big. And entrepreneurs in business and realtors, et cetera, lenders, you name it, did not know how to use social media to promote their business. So that's the avenue that I took.
So I love your story because it's something that it's almost like you seized the moment at the time. You saw what was popular in the market and you said, hey, I want to go and take advantage of this and become a business as a result of this. So you focus on social media. How did you learn about doing what you did? With the training, give me a little bit of background on the training that you've done.
The training,
if any.
No, the training actually I did do. And it's called Virtual Assistants, and you're going to hear more and more about it. It's taking off like crazy. I found a mentor who went through a class with it. It's called Expert VA Training, and it was a 12-week class at that time, and it took us from ground zero to having your website online. Well, as you can even imagine, that's insane. You can't do that in 12 weeks. So it's now a 28-week program where we help individuals take it from, you have an idea, let's go ahead and run it and get you online. By the time you're done in 28 weeks, you have this business, which I started with. And then we take you through the thought process. What's your passion? What do you enjoy doing? Because your passion is what's going to lead you so you don't get bored with your business. So we just walk them through the whole idea, the whole thing from legal all the way up to marketing and getting you live. And then I just decided to focus on the social media aspect. Once I decided to do that, I had to find other classes, and because I was virtually, I found tons of classes online. So I did reviews, and I found one, and it was just strictly social media. And then I just started digging in by myself, and now you could just Google anything and learn how to do it. Problem is with trying to learn all of the social media platforms, Facebook, as you know, changes every day. So it gets to be a little bit hard, so a lot of people are focusing just on one social media platform instead of trying to do all of them across the board.
So, as you were saying that, I was thinking we've had a couple of students who have come to the CODEC meetings over the course of the semester who have gained employment. One of them was social media expert for one of our companies that we interviewed, actually the food truck that we interviewed not too long ago as well. So I even want to go back to you as far as, okay, when you get started, and now who is your ideal client that you work with, as you move forward? Who are you thinking, who do you think is a good fit for you?
Small business owners, or owner, basically, someone who's just starting out their business or who might have been in a business for about a year. They're finally up and running and now they're ready to start to the next level. Yeah. And they don't even know where to go or where to begin. So I would actually say demographics, it's pretty much, anybody probably 45 and older at this time that I work with.
So now I'm also thinking about our audience and what they want to do and how they can even get involved in something like that. So let's even take a step back even further. What is a virtual assistant? What is the true definition of that from your perspective?
Virtual assistant is anyone that can, and it's not the word assistant tagged to it, maybe shouldn't be part of it, but it is. Basically, there's a lot of, let's say for an example, a realtor. A realtor is out there, they're selling their business, but they need someone to expedite getting their listings up online, their photos and information like that. So what they do is just reach out and hire somebody virtually. Nice thing about it, you're an independent contractor. You are in charge of your own hours. You get to take the expenses of owning your own business. There's a lot of perks with being your own independent contractor. And then there's virtual assistants for any and every industry possible out there. So there's people just to do legal. There's people out there just as travel agents, et cetera. So again, figure out your passion, and you could go out there and start putting information out there on your website or a blog that you might start, and people will find you.
Awesome. That's kind of cool. So I definitely want to, again, open the floor up for questions, but I do have another question before I direct it to you guys here in the audience. So let's give a prime example of myself. Say I'm an artist, right? And I have my paintings or I have my shirts or whatever the case that I have, but I want to start marketing. I want to get the word out so that people can begin buying my stuff. How could you help me in a case like that, and especially in what you do when you're specialized?
What I would do is sit down with you immediately, and first thing is explain your ideal client to me.
Yeah.
So I need to know your demographics and everything else.
Okay. So my ideal clients might be college students, hypothetically.
Okay. So then what I would say is, obviously we know where college students are, so we think your product is very visual, so we're definitely going to have to get you somehow onto Snapchat.
Yep.
We're definitely going to have to get you onto Instagram. We're probably going to have to tweet, and hopefully that you have your blog, so then we can take them to your information on your line. And then even live, Facebook Live maybe as you're painting, or even YouTube right now, how they're going with their live information too. So I would say let's concentrate on some of that first. Website first, build it, because that's your hub. That's where you're going to bring everybody back to. And then we're going to go off on the social media. You can't start all of them at one time and be consistent with it. So we pick maybe the first top 2 that you think you're going to get the most business from it.
And maybe visually, because it's an art form, maybe
Extremely.
Instagram too?
Instagram, mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
And then it depends too, not so many people are on Pinterest, I would say, it's college students, but definitely Snapchat.
Wow, Snapchat's hot now, huh? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Questions from the audience, anybody? Got something? Yes, ma'am.
So if a client doesn't really understand all the different types of social media, is that part of what you do as well? You like a Snapchat and all the things?
I explain every single one and why I think you should go which way. And then I usually ask them too when they first start, what are you most comfortable with it? Because everybody somehow is on some type of social media. So sometimes, even though I might say you should start with Snapchat, but you're comfortable more with Facebook, I'd say, let's start with Facebook first until you get comfortable. Then we go ahead and we introduce the next one for you.
Do you still work with MySpace? I'm on MySpace. No, I'm just checking. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering. So, you do work with the business owners, right? Are the small businesses you work with varying sizes? Is it only a one-man company, say the artist, or if it's an artist, or if it's do you work with just the owner,
no,
or just the people?
It varies. It varies because some people will hear of the services that I offer. See, I started virtually, and then as your business grows, you'll see it evolves into something totally different. And you go the direction that you want to go based on the demand. So I had someone who contacted me, and I can meet with someone on individual, and they say, I need social media for my marketing department, or can you go help and work with them? So I could work with one, and I've worked up to about with 15 people in a company.
Do you that kind of answers my next question. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
So you saw a variety of companies is what I'm hearing, from small to large size as needed.
Yes.
So I know with the larger ones, is it more challenging to work with them as it would be a solo practitioner?
It is, because you can get more of their attention. Working with one individual business, you're scattered, as you know, you're all over the place, you're wearing all kinds of hats, and so it's very hard to get you. Social media people think that they could just turn it over to you. Well, you can't, because social media is about learning you as an individual and how your personality, and I don't want them to learn me. I have to promote the person that I'm working for, so they have to be involved. So working with one-on-one sometimes is a little tough.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
For your customer base, are these people that will keep coming back to you for help with their social media, or is it just sort of a one-time thing they learn from you and they?
It's funny. I will go ahead and they'll say, you know what, teach me so I can run with it. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'll come in and I'll teach. I'll teach one at a time usually, so they're there. And they'll say, okay, so then in about a month, I'll go and I'll look on their Facebook page, let's say, and they have nothing posted. And so then I'll pick up the phone with my follow-through that you do as an entrepreneur, and I'll say, do you need help? And I usually get hired. Yeah.
Is there a difference between social media individually, I might be on Snapchat snapping all the time, and then running it from a business perspective? What's the difference that you see there? Because I know we all think we know social media, but do we really know it when it comes to from the business perspective?
There's advantages of having it. I mean, yes, your social media, yes, you're promoting your own business and you should be out there. But if you decide you're going to want to go to a business, you should take advantage of the business aspects of it, such as Facebook business page is what you should definitely have than just your profile so anybody can like it. Okay. And the search engines index, the about page. Yelp has a business section just for business owners. So you should be on part of that too. LinkedIn, you can have company pages, etc. So yes, you should definitely go to the business side.
That's actually a good segue. LinkedIn, how important is it today from your perspective?
I like LinkedIn, but it's totally a different beast. It's business to business. It's not as social. Matter of fact, you're looked upon down if you use it for social, so it's extremely business to business, but you can use it to use for referrals, to get your information out there. So there's a lot that you can use LinkedIn for. You can get jobs, you could follow companies, you could start looking at what companies are out there looking for, as they're hiring people. So as you start seeing something more and more consistent, you might say, hey, there's a need for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Another question. Sounds like that takes a lot of time to learn and to teach all those different social medias. So how do you offer your time? Is it like as much time as they want, or
it's evolved. Again, you learn from your own business. It evolved as far as I offer like a free, 20-minute consultation, which ends up being 45 minutes free. And so then we decide, once I walk out the door, what's the plan? So they'll have their set of homework, and then I'll come back and say, okay, I'll follow up with them and say, all right, now let's move forward, or what we're going to do with plan B. And so they can decide, they'll say to me, can you just be my coach? Because I coach a lot of just individuals by themselves. I coach them. Or they'll say, can you create my Facebook page, or can you create my LinkedIn business page? And then can you start posting? And then I give them another price for that. So it's based on the need, because each individual needs something totally different. And you are correct. Staying on top of every single social media site is a little crazy.
You go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
So you did mention that the people you work with are usually 45 and older. Has there ever been people who are under that demographic?
Yes, it is. There's more of a demand for older due to the fact that there's a lot of people who don't want to touch it, they don't want to break anything, and let alone they're giving all their privacy information out. So there's a really big demand for that. But yes, I definitely work with younger. Matter of fact, anybody who's looking, I help people looking for jobs. I help people who are just starting to promote their business. So yeah, it's any age.
What does that look like? I'm looking for a job. How could you help me?
Well, there's a lot of people who are graduates who are looking for a job, and so there's different places within, let's say, a LinkedIn profile where you need to put your information in there to get yourself to be found by the headhunters. As Peter's heard, Peter's been in one of my classes. It's like your headline is your most important thing. So don't take advantage of your headline and put in the title that you want or seeking job.
What about your picture?
Your picture is huge.
Huge.
Huge, because social media is all about that. They want to see what you look like first and get to know you and that you're a happy person, that they're going to hire you.
Right. Good stuff. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
For more information, do you have a class coming up soon or contact information?
I actually do not have classes coming up anymore right now. I have gone a little bit more towards the coaching information, but I do have I have a virtual online business card, basically, and it's myvirtualservice.com. And I do have business cards to hand out for you, and you can find me all over the social media sites and follow me that way because I do give great tips on there. But I'm all about doing everything when it comes to marketing free first, and then spend when you have to.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are watching, this will be linked up. Your information will be linked up on all the different social media platforms that you're available to as well. Any more questions? So I have a couple more questions as we finish up as well. So what does the future hold for you? What do you see yourself? This is like one of those interview questions. What do you see yourself in 5 years?
Actually, I am thinking about doing more of the coaching. Virtual assistants is a business that's actually taking off. So what I'm going to do is start helping coaching virtual assistants to take their business from ground zero to up. Again, it's the thought process of what do you want to get into. So there are a whole bunch of entrepreneurs that way. And then just, I have a lot of clients that I just love to coach one-on-one. And so going from, let's say I have one time, I think I had 30 clients all at one time. It gets to be a lot, so I'm going to be narrowing it down to like 5 clients and then coach it.
Good stuff, good stuff. And so and if we don't have any further questions from the studio audience here, we do have one more. Yes, sir.
Did you need any capital to start this business?
Good question.
That's a really good question, and because of the business that I was in, no, I had everything I already needed. If you have a laptop or any type of device to hook up to the internet.
And also, do you strictly build profiles, or do you get in the sense of like adding banner ads to the bottom of Facebook? Like, do you create design advertisements? Because it's part of the social media marketing, right?
Right. My business is it's based on the demand, and you are correct. So I actually I have subcontractors. The one that I work hand in hand with most, she's located in New Zealand. And so she does a lot of my social media work for me. And so then I have people who help me with videos. It just keeps on going. And yes, I have been diving into Facebook ads. That is my new big thing going on right now because it's powerful what you could do. So yes, I do help you start from ground zero into marketing your business. Some people don't want to pay in the beginning, so I do help with search engine optimization, SEO. But then yes, we go right into the ads, and I have graphic designers that help me.
So that's actually a good segue into my final question here. So, we have a diverse group of our audience members here as well. But let's just picture yourself, say you were them, maybe 18, 19, 20, some cases even a little older than that, and you were sitting where they were sitting. They have maybe entrepreneurial aspirations, and maybe even something along your lines. What would you tell your younger self right now?
Do it now. Don't wait.
Why? Why now?
Don't wait. Because the older you get, the more you start doubting yourself and the more responsibilities you get. You got rents or you got families, whatever you might have. You got to do it sooner than later and make it your passion because you're going to be doing it all of the time. So I would say if you could do it sooner than later, it's just because you will become your worst enemy. You start overthinking it. So if you have the time that you could do something now, I would start the foundation quicker than later.
Yeah. And to piggyback on what she's saying there, she's just saying you have to have a laptop. That's all you need in a lot of cases as well. So not telling any of you to quit your job that you're at right now, but start something that you want to do on the side so that you can quit your job sooner rather than later as well, as opposed to just continuing to work for somebody else. They tell you what to do, and you're not making any of your own money. You're just making their own money.
Yeah, it's definitely a business that you could totally start
You know,
on your off hours. So you build them at the same time.
good stuff. Let's give Mary a hand, folks.
Thank you.
And thank you, folks, for watching as well. Stay tuned for the next episode of CODEC in our spring semester. Let's give it a hand again.